Hello friend, I'm Ghanshyam and welcome to today's lecture. So on the previous lecture I have told that uh, we are going to discuss in the next lecture the various ways to electric power generation. So our today's lecture is various ways to electric power generation. So how we can generate the electrical power by means of various natural sources, various artificial sources, or various type of sources. So how to electric power generate, and that electric power is to be transmitted and distributed among the all household and the industrial and other uh, other like your school and college or other purposes. So um, today we have to start our first thermal power plant, then hydroelectric power plant, then nuclear power plant. We need not go to our tidal power plant and the wind power plant, so because those are not very important to us, and those three thermal power plant, hydroelectric power plant and nuclear power plant, those are the very important to us for our university exam and for our railway, SSC, other exam, competitive exam. So I was previously told you that before going to the next slide, make sure you have done all the screenshot. So let's start our topic, that is thermal power generation. So this is our figure, but before going to this figure we have to know what is thermal power generation. So in thermal or steam power plant, it is the main sources of electric power generation in our country. In this power plant, heat energy is converted into electric energy. So here our heat energy will be converted into electrical energy. So mainly in the NTPC, National Thermal Power Plant Corporation, here in our Odisha, NTPC Kania has the one biggest thermal power plant that is placed in the Talcher district. So in this thermal power plant, heat energy is converted into electrical energy. So the heat energy generated by burning of fuel, we've got heat energy. So fuel, mostly we used coal, not petrol or not diesel. So we mostly used coal because of our state is very fast producing of coal. Is used to heat water and generate steam. High pressure steam are provided to our turbine, so that turbine will rotate and the turbine shaft will be connected to our generator, so that generator generate electricity by the principle of electromagnetic induction, or Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, whatever you say. So the generated steam runs turbine, and this turbine work as a prime mover, mechanical power to alternator, and this thermal power generation require coal and ample quantity of water for the purposes. The schematic arrangement of this is our schematic arrangement of this power plant is shown in figure. So let's start our figure. So here coal storage, for the storage purposes, when coal storage is provided, and then the coal handling plant, that means you have to produce the fine particle of the coal so that they are born easily or completely, and do not provide the big particle, it must be fine particle. So coal handling plant is here, and then coal will be provide to the whatever you say, the boiler. So boiler will be a very high amount of water will be given to this, so that the water will be boil and the steam will be flow through the steam circulating pump. Okay, and then the boiler will be boil the water, and the here economizer will be given to economize our our heat steam and superheated steam. So here superheater is given, and there is a water steam. The superheated steam is passes through the turbine, and it is a condenser to condense the water. There is a circulating water is provided here. There is a circulating water pump, and this is the condenser extraction pump. This is a low power heater, and this is the boiler feeds pump, and this is the heat hygrometer. Air precipitator is here, and there is a precipitator to precipitate the dust particle and other material, and this is the exhaust, and this is the generator, and this is the transform to transform the 3-phase AC, and those ash will be extracted from here, ash handling plant, and this is the ash storage. So let's discuss all those things. Let me erase. So one main part is our boiler. This is the boiler. So what does it work? It is used to convert water into steam. So there is water is flowed across this, and this water will be boiled, and the boiled water will be produced high pressure steam, and the steam will be flow like this. So what is superheater? Then come to superheater. What does superheater do? It convert wet steam into superheated steam. Mean wet steam into very gaseous steam or very high pressure steam, and this superheated steam will be passes to our turbine. What does turbine do? The steam at a high pressure expand in the turbine and drive the generator by connecting this shaft. It is a shaft, so it can operate our generator. So what does generator do? Generator will be generate electrical power by means of Faraday law of electromagnetic induction principle. So there is a 3-phase AC will be generated. So 3-phase AC will be provided to our transformer. The transformer will be step up or step down. Here step up transformer is given for very long distance travel. So let me erase. So one cooling tower is given. Here cooling tower. This is our cooling tower. So why cooling tower is given and why condenser is given? So condenser is given, it condenses the steam used by the steam will be extracted from here, from the turbine, and that steam will be used by the steam turbine. The condensed steam known as the condensate. The condensed steam is known as the condensate. So condensate is used as a feed water. So here feed water, this is the condensate extraction pump, and that water will be circulating through this condensed water will be circulating through this path by the circulating water pump. And this cooling tower, what does cooling tower do? It cool the condensed circulating water. Condenser cooling water absorb heat from the steam, so it absorbs the heat from the steam. The heat is discharged atmosphere. So here is a flowing water. This water will be cool the steam flowing water. So it is cooling purposes. Cooling tower is used for our cooling purposes. And condenser circulating water pump is to pump the water or circulate the water through the condenser. And cooling tower. What is feed water pump? Let's see. What does feed water pump do? Let me erase. So here is our feed water pump. This is, so feed water pump, it pump water in the water tube. There is a water tube, so it feed the water in the water tube of the boiler against boiler steam pressure. And let's see about the economizer. This is our economizer. What does economizer do? It economizes heat in flue gases is partially used to heat incoming feed water, so our heat will not be destroyed, or heat cannot be passed through anywhere. So economize like you have here this word economics. From economics we get the economizer. So how to economize our heat gas or steam? So economizer economized heat in the flue gases and partially used to heat incoming feed water. So let's see about the air precipitator. This is the air precipitator. In air precipitator, heat in flue gases is partially used heat coming air, and this is the precipitator. And this is the ID fan. This fan will extract our exhausted gases. And let's see the working principle of the thermal power plant. So please take a screenshot, then we will start our working of the thermal power plant. I think you have done. So let's start our working. So working of thermal power plant. The working of thermal power plant start with the arrival of coal. Start with the arrival of coal. From here our working will be start. The coal store in the coal storage and passes to the furnace. This is our furnace here. The furnace will be very high amount of heat will be produced here by burning of the coal, and this burning of the coal will lead to our boil water. So through the coal handling plant of the generation of heat energy and ash resulting from the combustion of coal collected back. So ash will be collected here of the boiler and is removed to the ash storage yard. So here ash storage yard is given. So here ash will be collect. The heat energy generated by the burning of coal is used to heat water in the boiler and convert it into a wet steam. So here a wet steam will be converted by heating of the water. So this wet steam is pressure passes to a superheater. There is a superheater, passes through a superheater where the wet steam changes to superheated steam. So our wet steam will be changed to superheated steam, then it will flow very high pressure. So there the wet steam changes to superheated steam when the high pressure and atmosphere superheated steam passes through the turbine. So this superheated steam is passes through the turbine and it get expanded and move the turbine prime mover of the turbine. With the turbine, a generator is attached with the shaft. so attached by the shaft which rotate our armature, and this armature will lead to produced the electrical energy, that is three phase AC energy. Then steam expanding or doing work in a turbine come into condenser by steam. So it come into condenser. Here it cool down by circulating circulating water or circulating steam. So there is a boiler feed which is used to feed the water to the boiler through the high pressure heater. The high pressure heater is used to heat the water before passing through the boiler. There is a high pressure water. This condensed steam will be flow into this, and water will be passed into this. So the water and circulating water will be passes to it of high pressure heater, so that it will heat and generated very high pressure of the wet steam. The high pressure heater is used to heat the water before passing to the boiler. In this way, electricity will be generated in the steam power plant. So it is complete the thermal power plant. So our next one is, let's see, the hydroelectric power plant. So you have already know the hydroelectric power plant in everywhere where the water is available, and there will be hydroelectric power plant. Mainly in our Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir, in this region, hydroelectric power plant are very very largely placed to generate electricity. And in our Odisha, in Hirakud Dam, there was a hydroelectric power plant which generate electricity and provide all the electricity to our neighboring state and our state. Sorry, it cannot be seen to you. So see here, boiler, turbine, condenser, coalator, and condenser, circulating water pump, economizer, whatever we have studied, all these things are here. So before going to our hydroelectric power plant, please take a screenshot of the component and it to work of the thermal power plant. Okay, I think you have done. Let's start our hydroelectric power plant. This is our hydroelectric power plant. It is seen like this now. So this is our hydroelectric power plant. So in hydroelectric power plant, the kinetic energy of high altitude kinetic energy of water is used to generate electric power. So here turbine is used to generate electricity. Same in the case of thermal power plant. So water has kinetic energy when it flow from higher elevate to there is a higher elevate, it is a higher elevate and it is a lower elevate. So higher elevation to lower elevation, the kinetic energy used to run the turbine, and with the turbine the generator attached to the generate electricity. So there is a turbine, and the turbine will generate turbine is connected to the shaft with the generator, and the generator will generate electricity, and it passes through the transmission line and transmission line, and it is distributed among everywhere. So in large scale hydroelectric power plant, large volume of water are contained by the dam near the generator and turbine. The far away of the storage area of water that must be deep enough that the penstock is completely submerged. So here is the penstock is given. This penstock will flow the high pressure of the water stream to flow through the turbine, so that turbine will be rotate. So before going to our formula of electric power, generated electric power of hydroelectric power, so let's see the all component of the given hydroelectric power plant. So there is a reservoir. It is a reservoir to store our water flowing from the river, and this is the truss rock. Truss rock means it close or upon, or it is called as gate. So it upon or close our gate, and this is our intake. So it take our water to here to flow through the pan stack. This is our pan stack. It is called as pan stack. It is the control gate. Control gate means whenever you have required, then it will open, and it is called closed. And it is the draft tube like this and flow through this, and it is turbine, and here is a powerhouse. Generator is connected with the turbine with the shaft, and this generator will be output by the transformer, and this transformer will provide electrical energy to the transmission line with the tower connected here, and then it will distribute among the voltage primary, secondary, tertiary distribution systems. It is other part. So here is our outlet or outflow of the water. This is the lower elevation, this is the higher elevation, and this dam will be made by the concrete material and the rock material and other. It can also made by the clay. So clay is not very strong, so we have heavily used our cement, concrete, and rock. So those are all part of the hydroelectric power plant. So there is a high pressure of water spin the turbine, allowing the generator to produce the electric current. The powerhouse contain protect the equipment for generating electricity. So the high pressure water exists in the system through the draft tube. So here in the draft tube, high pressure of the water will be produced. The ladder shape. This is the ladder shape. The generated electrical power in hydroelectric power is equal to P. Generated electric power is equal to 735.5 divided by 75. Please keep note it. QHM. So generated power is equal to 735.5 divided by 75 into QHM into QHN. It is not M. It is not M. It is our efficiency. Please correct it. It is our efficiency. Okay. So by calculating this, we will get P, electric power generation or hydroelectric power generation, is equal to 9.81 QH efficiency, that is in terms of unit kilowatt, kW. So what is Q, what is H, and what is efficiency? So Q is the discharge in meter Q. So Q is the discharge in meter Q. Q is the discharge in meter Q. And H is the water head in meter. H is the water head in meter. And the efficiency, this is the efficiency of the plant. So this is our overall formula. P is equal to 9.81 QHN. Q is the discharge in meter cube per second, and the water H is the water head in the meter, and efficiency of the plant. So classification of hydroelectric power plant. According to the water flow regulation, hydroelectric power plant are classified into three types. That is runoff river plant without pondage, and runoff river with pondage, and reserve plant. This is runoff river without pondage, and this is the runoff river with pondage, and this is the reservoir plant. So runoff river without pondage, there is no pondage systems. So this plant do not store water and use the water as it come. So there is no control of the no storage, so there is no control of the water flow. Okay. So during the period of high flow or low load, water is wasted, and during the low flow period, the plant capacity is very low in the runoff river plant without pondage. And in case of the runoff river plant with pondage, there is a pondage system, or pondage refers to the storage at the plant to take care of the hour to hour fluctuation in load on the station. And pondage increase the farm capacity, the capacity will be increased here. Here the capacity will be increased in the station, provide the flood to do not rise. So flood to do not rise to its peak level, and thus reducing the effective water head of the plant output. And such plant can be served as the load or peak load plant. This plant is served as the load or peak load plant. Okay, let me erase. And another one is the reservoir plant. Those are the base load plant or peak load plant. And most of the hydroelectric power plant everywhere in the world in this category, in this reservoir plant category. And when water is stored the reservoir behind the dam, it is possible to flow of the water and used in most effective storage, increase the farm capacity of the plant, and can be used in the base load plant, peak or peak load plant. It's used as a base load plant or peak load plant depending upon the water and reservoir, the rate of inflow in the load. And according to this hydroelectric power plant, according to this load, hydroelectric power plant can be three types. One is base load plant, peak load plant, pumped storage plant. So let's see about the base load plant. So base load plant, this is the high load factor plant. They feed the base load steam, thus they supply almost constant through the throughout the operate and high load factor, and it is the constant over here. Constant base load plant is a constant throughout. And runoff river plant without pondage, it is also without pondage system, like in the first case, runoff river plant without pondage. A plant used as a base load plant and unit of the energy generated by the plant sold by. So comes to peak load plant. Peak load plant, they are mean to the peak load of the system run of river with pondage. It is example of run of river with without pondage system. With it is I think not without, it is a with pondage system, I think. Yes, it is not without, it is with pondage system. Can be used as a peak load during lane flow period. Reservoir plant cars be used as a peak load plant also. So peak load plant have a large seasonal. They store water during off-peak period or run during the peak load period. They operate low load factor. A special type of peak load plant is a pumped storage plant. This pumped storage plant. So pumped storage plants supply peak load. During load period, water is drawn from the heat pond through the penstock and generate and supply the peak load. During the off-load period, the same pumped back from the tail water pondage head water pondage. So this is the water may to generate energy during the next peak period. So the based on head, these are like low head, medium head and high head hydroelectric power plant. So please take a screenshot, then we will start. I think you have done. So by the head of the height of the head of the hydroelectric power plant, there are three types: low head plant, medium head plant and high head plant. So low head plant, the water head is less than the 30 meter. The plant is its minimum height is 30 meter and the plant is called the low head plant. The dam or barrage across the river create a necessary head. The power plant is located near the dam. It is near a dam located, and therefore no storage tank is needed in this plant. Francis and Kaplan propeller turbine is used. So here is two type of Francis and Kaplan. Francis and Kaplan type of turbine is used. There is a river flow. It is present near the river, and there is a turbine which is present near the penstock, and the powerhouse is also placed near this. So this is our low head hydroelectric power plant. Then come to our medium head hydroelectric power plant. The medium head plant operating at head between 30 to 100 meter. Remember that the medium head plant will be operated between the 30 to 100 meter. An open channel bring water from the open reservoir. This is our open reservoir to the forebay to the forebay from the where penstock carry water to the turbine. Francis and Kaplan. There is also Francis and Kaplan. Make a note of these two. There is a Francis and Kaplan turbine used. So let's see about the high head plant. So those plant operating at a head above the meter 100 meter, above 100 meter, this distance is 100 meter, this distance is 30 to 100 meter, this distance is 30 meter. Okay, 100 meter and generally classified as a high head plant. In those plant, water is carried from the main reservoir, this is our reservoir, to store tank by tunnel, and then from the source tank powerhouse by the penstock, this is our small penstock. And generally Francis turbine, there is only Francis turbine, make note it, Francis turbine and Pelton's turbine. And Pelton turbine is used for higher head. So let's see the advantages and disadvantages of hydroelectric power plant. So first our advantages is existable fuel sources. Inexhaustible means that cannot be whatever is eliminate, or cannot be, it will be used again and again because of the flowing of water through this. And minimal environmental impact, because of this water can be used also our agricultural purposes, and it is viable source, relatively useful level of energy production, and it can be used throughout the world. And its one disadvantages is there is a smaller model depend upon the availability of the water of fast flowing stream or river. Runoff the river plant can be impact and mobility of the fish, and it is impact on the mobility of the fish and river life. So it's complete, I think.